Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Matt. I am your host, Matt Taylor. Today I'm going to show you how to make corn tortillas from scratch. I love homemade tortillas, they are awesome. I do have a flour tortilla video already, and this is going to be a corn tortilla video. Super easy to do, only 3 ingredients. If I can do it, you can do it. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. Let's get started. Down below in the description box, you'll find the list of the ingredients and their amounts. They are pretty easy to remember. Like I mentioned, only 3 ingredients. And I'm making a small batch, but this is 1 cup of maseca. Maseca is the brand. It's actually masa flour. And the popular brand here in the United States is called maseca. So that's 1 cup. And then I have about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm just going to mix those together with the whisk. Alright, and then I have 3/4 cup of warm water. We may not need it all. We may need a little bit more. It just depends. And I'm just going to pour a little bit of that in there. And then with clean hands, we're going to come in here and start mixing this together. And come back over here. Get a little bit more in there. A little bit more. A little bit more. We want to get all that powdery masa to get incorporated with the liquid. A little bit more. And there's a kind of a proper consistency, if you will, that we're trying to get. We don't want it to be too crumbly, and we don't want it to be too watery. So about like that, to where when you touch it, it doesn't stick to your finger. And so I used probably all but 1 tablespoon of the water. So let's give this a knead, and we'll knead this dough in this bowl, or you can do it on the countertop. And we're going to knead it for about 5 minutes. And once we're done kneading the dough, I'm just going to kind of bring it together, maybe shape it into a ball like that. And then just cover it with some damp paper towel, or like a dish towel, nice clean dish towel that's damp. And then we'll let this sit for about 20 minutes and let the dough rest. After 15 to 20 minutes, after the dough has rested, I'm just going to remove this. And then what we want to do is divide this into, I should be able to get about 8 or 9 tortillas out of this. So I'm just going to roll this out a little bit. And if at any time when you're working with the dough, if it's a little bit too crumbly or a little bit too wet, then you can just, if it's too wet, add a little bit more masa, a couple tablespoons. If it's too crumbly, add a teaspoon of water and go from there. Okay, something like that. And then I'm going to take the ones that I'm not working with and put them back in the bowl and just cover that up. And then take one of these pieces and we'll just roll it in our hands into a ball. Okay, like that. And now we want to press it. A couple ways that you can do it. If you have a tortilla press, then of course use that. And if you are going to be making a lot of these all the time, you'll probably want to invest in a tortilla press. But I'm going to show you how to do it if you don't have a tortilla press. Take a Ziploc bag, and I just cut the zipping part off, and then I just opened it up on sides so it kind of folds up like a little blanket, and then put that right there in the middle, and then fold that over on the top. And then you can take like a pie plate or like some kind of a heavy pan, and we're just going to push right down on it. And you might have to do it a few times to get it how thin that you want. This is still a little bit too thick. And that is going to make a nice little, kind of like a street taco size. It's about 4 inches in diameter. And then what you can do is you will just peel this plastic back. It won't stick at all to it. And then just gently peel it up. And now we can go and cook it up. All right, so I have the pan set to medium-high heat, and you can use a cast iron pan as well. And then just take your tortilla and put it right there in the middle. Depending on if you're using a griddle or not, you can do more than one at a time. Then we'll go for about 30 seconds. All right, and then a lot of people, if you're doing this a lot, you'll just grab it with your fingers and just flip it over. It might be too hot for you to do that. If so, then just use a spatula. And then cook this side for about 30 seconds. And then we will flip it over one more time and cook it for another 30 seconds. And it's gonna start to puff up. See, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's starting to puff up. I'll just turn it around so you can see how it's puffing up. And that's a really good indication that it is done. See how nice and puffy it got? Awesome. And then just remove it and put it in your tortilla keeper, or just on a plate covered with some damp paper towel, or just like a damp kitchen towel. I'll do some more of these. When you are all done, you will have a stack of corn tortillas like this, made from scratch. Pretty awesome. And then you can eat them however you want. Make little tacos, street tacos, make quesadillas, whatever you want to do with them. And you could also make homemade tortilla chips with these. I have a little video on how you can make that using already made tortilla chips. Up there in the corner, there's a little eye. Click on that and you can find that video. And here we go. Homemade corn tortillas from scratch. And you can see it. It's nice and soft, and you can roll it up. Nice and pliable. Pretty awesome. All right, the homemade corn tortillas are done and turned out fantastic. Really easy to do, only 3 ingredients. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm Matt Taylor. This has been another episode of In the Kitchen with Matt. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or requests, put them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thumbs up, down the corner, push it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Take care. Time for me to dive into this. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna eat it plain.